Hi. Shooting film is expensive. These 2 rolls of film cost me £27. That's a lot of money for about 50 photos. And that's before you add developing and scanning, which, if you're going through Harman Lab, can be as much as £27, or if you want slide film from Analog Wonderland, £31 per roll. So that means that 1 roll of Ektachrome plus developing and scanning could come out to as much as £51 for a maximum of 16 shots. So there must be a way to cheapen this down at least a little bit, right? So what are the options? Well, I mean, I already have a perfectly capable digital camera. I'm sure I could use... Never mind. Okay, how about making film myself? Well, I looked into that, and there's a good reason why Kodak is worth $564 million US. How about processing film? Well, I don't really trust myself with chemicals like that, and I'd also have to find a pitch black room. Or I could get a machine to do it for me for the thick end of 400 quid. So that's off the cards. And then we have scanning, which actually, as it turns out, is the expensive bit of developing and scanning. So I decided that's where I was going to concentrate my efforts. So a film scanner then. Surely that can't be too expensive. Oh my fucking god, why are they so expensive? This one's £12,000. £12,000. This thing had better give me a fucking hand job while it scans my film for me. Hey, look, this one's got free delivery. Yeah, free delivery. I would fucking well hope so for £15,500. Hey, this one's a lot cheaper. Nearly £8,000. Seems like a right bargain. Oh, look at this. Look at this one. This is practically a steal. £2,500. So a film scanner's not happening then. So what about camera scanning then? Well, I already have a very capable mirrorless camera, so well, why not give that a go? Camera scanning, or DSLR scanning as some people call it, is widely regarded as the most cost-effective method of scanning film, and you honestly don't need that much to get started. You need a digital camera, a macro lens, something to hold the film down, a light source, and something to hold the camera. Well, as I say, I've already got a digital camera, so good on that front. I was thinking about buying a longer lens for this camera anyway, so now's the perfect time to tear a new hole in my wallet by buying this Canon 100mm L-series macro lens. As for a film holder, I decided on the Veloy professional scanning kit, because it had a few good write-ups and it seems to do everything that I plan on needing. There are probably cheaper options out there, but this fits the bill, and also it comes with a light source, so 2 birds, 1 stone. Comes with everything you need to get up and running, a film advancer so you don't have to touch the film with your grubby little fingers, a light source, an adapter to mount the aforementioned film advancer and light source together, film holders for 35mm and 120, and a few other accessories, and some finished suites, which were very nice. And here's what that all looks like put together. The light is very, very bright. Don't ask me how I know. As mentioned, it comes with these film holders, one of which is a little bit damaged, but nothing a bit of superglue couldn't fix. Among the accessories was a duster for the film, a set of masks for 6x7, 6x6, and 645, and this handy mirror, so you can check your makeup while you scan film. Lastly is something to hold the camera still. Some people opt for a tripod for this, but setting up a tripod on a table, then aligning everything from scratch every single time is a right pain in the arse. And I don't want to do that. So a copy stand it is then. Only trouble with that is, copy stands are expensive. I mean, 200 to 600 quid for, what, a couple of bits of metal and some screws. Seeing these prices, I made the considered decision to say, fuck that, I'm not paying that much. Which is where this gentleman comes in, Alexander Matragos. I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. His video on this subject was absolutely invaluable when I was researching for this project, and he was even gracious enough to answer a couple of questions I had about it. His video serves as a guide for making your own copy stand, and it turns out it's pretty straightforward. Now, as we all know, good artists copy, and great artists steal. And while I am neither a good artist nor a great artist, I'm quite good at copying other people's homework. However, for legal reasons, I am not good at stealing things. So that's where this comes in. This is a piece of wood. in case that wasn't obvious. And this is a pipe. Riveting commentary, I know. As well as a flange to fit said pipe, and a threaded cap to cap things off nicely. As for specifics, it's a 45 by 45 centimeter piece of hardwood plywood, a 1-inch pipe, and a matching flange and threaded cap. As for mounting the camera, I went with a Manfrotto super clamp because that's what everyone else uses, and as we know, I'm very good at copying. Most people mount a tripod head onto their super clamps, but I decided to get a tripod collar that fit my macro lens, which was feeling a little camera shy on the day. The theory behind this was that I could have the camera the right way up when looking at it on the stand, and I could also then turn the camera 90 degrees to get higher resolution if I wanted. It was a good idea in theory, but the tripod collar I got was shit. It's from a company called iShoot, and for some reason it only really wants to turn one way. But it's either that or spend £160 on a Canon one. So I guess I'll have to live with it. After varnishing the wood, I measured up where I wanted the flange to be and marked out where to put the screws. Then it was just a case of putting everything together. Screwing the flange down, threading the pipe in, mounting the super clamp to my pipe, then finally wondering why that last sentence sounded weird. I say I'm pretty happy with the final result. I haven't actually used it yet, as I'm waiting on a set of white cotton gloves to protect my negatives from my grubby little fingers, as well as a few other little things. As for the total cost, the film holder and light source cost me about £400 thanks to import tax. Fucking Brexit making things more expensive. Thanks, Boris, you. Anyway, the wood was a tenner from my local timber merchants. The pipe, flange and cap were about £19 from Plumbing Superstore. The super clamp and stud was about £15 off of eBay, and the tripod collar was about £13, again from eBay. The camera I already owned, as well as the lens adapter, and I got a ridiculously good deal on the macro lens itself. If you were to start from scratch, I would recommend getting a Canon 5D Mark II for about £200 to £250, and then the gold ring Canon 100mm macro for a similar price. If you've already got a digital camera, then obviously use that, and buy a macro lens that fits it. I do see a lot of people using vintage lenses, a lot of people recommend starting with vintage lenses, and that's a perfectly good way to get decent results for a fair chunk of money less. Just make sure you do your research, find a good quality vintage macro lens, and check that you can get an adapter to fit whatever camera you plan on using. So that's all for this time. Thank you for watching. Take care.